Hey everybody, this is Antuna. I'm just gonna show what I worked on today. It's if you watch Guardians of the Galaxy, I was trying to think today what I could model. I was trying to get something, just kind of some ideas. So I looked online, I found Baby Groot, and so he looks simple at first, but when you start looking at him, he's not symmetrical. So I started trying to figure out how to do this. So I'm just gonna try to show a little walkthrough of what you know just see what we can do. It's just a work in progress. It's nothing to be finished overnight. I'm just trying to show my workflow and how I could probably go about this. You can see he's got a lot of different detail, a lot of, it's not symmetrical, so it's a little trickier. Um, if you look at him right here, you can see all that detail in the wood, the bump map, and everything else. And then you got a little moss on his head. That's gonna be pretty fun to try to do. I think in the end, I'm just trying to. This is a fun movie too. If you've never seen it, it's a fun movie to watch. I haven't seen part two. It's coming out pretty soon, but just seeing this little character, Baby Groot, is just like it's just looks like a fun thing to model. So I was just like, figured why not, So these are my references that I use. I just found them online. Uh, they seem to help. I'm still trying to get a good base going. I'm still trying to model him out. So if you look here, you'll see I started with the Z-sphere. These are my other models that I did. I had already started them. So I'm just going to show a quick work through that I got to the point I'm at now. Hide this. So, if you have never used Z-spheres, I recommend it. It's pretty good. It's real easy to get things built real fast. So you get armatures and stuff like that. I'm going to fast forward through this if you can see that, I just kind of start building it out. And I could probably play this through the movie. If you never use this, you can go forward history. And it records it forward, but I don't want to do that. We'll go ahead and just play it forward. We'll skip through. I don't want it to take too long just trying to show this. But as you can see that I'm building like an armature for a group. It kind of helps out. You kind of got the idea. If you were to look back at this, you can actually kind of, oh, you don't want to do that. Lose all our history. All right, let's see if I can get this back. If you can see, I had this actually behind it, and you can actually do a transparency. I had it on the little see-through right here. You can actually go to see-through, and you can see what's behind it. And I use my web browser. I didn't really bring it in through Lightbox and or Spotlight, but I use the reference still, this picture. So I kind of matched it up. So I kind of give an idea. So I'm going to scale this down, put this aside. I'll turn this off, and you'll see, just keep building it out. Get a little armature, get his head. You can actually see, the similar. Get as close as you can. It's just kind of blocking it in, roughing it in. And I like the Z-spheres because you can actually just kind of go get a good base mesh just from there. And so this is where I ended up with this. And if you push, your A on your keyboard, it'll turn it into this. Turn it into a mesh. And you got properties for that down here on your adaptive skin. You can turn off the preview, turn it on, increase your density. But what I did was created it into a make polymesh 3D. And then I re-imported it. And that's what this is. And this down here. So we'll turn this on. I'm going to turn this one off. And I made, this isn't really anything. It's just a starting sphere. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this. I'm just going to delete this. Don't really need it. It was just a point of starting the project. So if you go in here, you can actually see where I ended up. But if I were to drag through, you could actually see where, let's see if I can drag it down without it crashing. There's a couple things that I wanted to do on this and just kind of get it going. We'll turn on the eyeballs too. So you can see his little eyes. I use an insert mesh to create the eyeballs. Let's see if it'll load. Sometimes it'll lock up and then you'll have to wait, or if you're going back on the history. Usually I don't save the history, but for this I just wanted to kind of use it as a point of reference. Let's see if this helps at all. There it goes. Takes a while. Takes a little bit. Hopefully it's not too long. Let's see, little Groot. No, I didn't do it. Let's see if I can just click on it without it doing that. Come on. There you go. Undo history 2 out of, let's see if this works. So now you can actually see where I started. I'll take that away. So you can actually see where I started using the spotlight. Started getting this character in there. And I might actually have to go back to a little bit more of what I originally had. Because if you start fast forwarding to where I'm at now, I kind of got a little too far ahead of myself. I shouldn't have put too much detail. So I'm going to slim that back down. I'm going to try to smooth it out. So I'm going to turn this off. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Let's go ahead and smooth them out. Because this is just kind of blocking it in. So we're just going to kind of get form. And the only thing is that he's not symmetrical, so it's a little tricky. So I want to kind of get the overall base before I start putting all these vines and moss and roots and everything else for this. But we'll kind of smooth them out. His head, get a slice curve, go up in here. We'll redefine this again. So we'll go right here. The other way. We'll slice it this way. Go ahead and even that out. So we'll go ahead and get this back flat. Same thing for his feet. I was trying to get a look for his feet. So let's go ahead and slice his feet too. And don't forget to turn off perspective because that'll happen. So let's go ahead and go back. And to there. Slice him again. I probably should have gone one more, but we'll smooth it back out. It ain't no big deal. It's always going to be a work in progress doing this. It's never going to be finished or on the first try. You gotta keep at it, keep pushing and pulling. It's fun though. Can't really complain. It's just it's a process. It's what you got to do. So now you kind of got little baby Groot going on there, just chilling. See. So I kind of dig it. We're gonna start adding some definition to him. Let's see. Let's go and get some references back up. So if you look at him, he's got the vines in his neck and all this other good stuff. I want to try to get some of that. Alright, let's turn this off. I'm going to probably pull this reference to the side on the other monitor so you wouldn't have to really worry about it, but something that I want to keep around. It's always good to keep references, but since I'm going to go ahead and just jump forward into this, we're going to go ahead and accept the fact that he's not symmetrical. He's not going to be, perfectly aligned within, most characters. You can do one side and do the other. This one, he's a little bit trickier. He's going to be not symmetrical, so that's going to be something that's going to be I'll have to figure out along the way. And it's fun. It's something to challenge yourself. Nothing bad. At first I thought it was going to be pretty easy. And then I started looking at it, and he's got a little jumpsuit and everything else. But, it's all good. It's part of the fun. This is what makes it, you kick back, get some music, and just start just zoning out. Just kind of get it deep into this. So, you got some of the eyebrow. Probably too harsh if I'm looking at the references right now to the side. But we're going to smooth this out. Get a little, clear the playing field right now. Because we're about to get more in depth with this. So we got, and I want to put the wood texture and everything else. But let's go ahead and start getting some of this eyebrow. You can see an eyebrow in the reference. But I'm going to go ahead and start drawing this in. He's not really too perfect. It's Groot. Groot. So we can get this. So we're going to smooth that back out so you can kind of get like a little definition there. Alright, so now since we're not going to do symmetry, I don't want to do layers. I just want to kind of just jump into it and just kind of just have fun with it. I don't really want to think too much about it. So we're going to go ahead and turn off symmetry. We're going to press X. And let's just start just going at it. Let's just see what we got. So there's like, if you look at the reference, whoa, wrong button. Let's put it back together. I think it's X. Shift X. There you go. This is like Groot's alive. So it's Shift Z, pulling this up. And so we start looking at this. Let's go ahead and make this one bigger and we'll look at it. So as you can see right here, he's got like a little bit longer piece right here, and it's a little short and it goes down. So we're going to go ahead and do that with this. I would leave this up, but then again, you know, I got the reference on the side over here, so we'll just turn it off. So let's go and turn it off, symmetry. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to mask out a little piece right here, because we already know we're going to bring that up, right? So this is going to be taller. So invert the mask, and we'll go ahead and get I got my hotkeys on my little number pads, but I'm going to pull this up, and we're just going to drag that up. So that's our first one. You can actually see, yeah, already going in the right direction. It's crazy. But we're going to play with this, see what we can get. You know, it's a work in progress is what it is. You know, just kind of zone out. I would play some music in the background, but I don't really have anything. And where I live, the internet's kind of hard to get. I'm just using as much little bandwidth I can to save this out and keep references up. So a lot of times, I don't know if sometimes I feel like I jump into the detail too fast, but what's the fun in just follow the rules, right? Let's just do it. Just start sculpting. Just get lost in this. It's too hard not to. You know, you just want to start just getting the details in. Just I can't help it. Let's see, just you can see some of that coming through. Let's go ahead and push this down. Bridge that to his forehead. Smooth it out. Just holding Shift. Just going along with that. So if you feel like you can't see the detail with whatever you're modeling with, like you can change your. I have a clay material. I like the clay. Now let's find something that gives us a little more shine so I can see. I might go with something like this, just for a little while. We don't have to do it all night, but you know, this way we can see a little more of the highlights, specularities, and stuff. But we're gonna go right here. We're going to start cutting in here. Chisel this out. Just chisel. It ain't take much. And I could probably dynamesh this. And I probably need to. That's what I'm going to do. Let's see. Just dynamesh. Sometimes you lose a little definition, but it's okay. It's what it is. We just want to kind of get a good base. And even this base is going to be a little bit more detailed base than I usually do. But it's something to kind of zone out and just do. There's nothing wrong with that. So, projection in progress. If it won't take too long. I need to clear out the history too on this. I saved it for this recording right here, but you know, what are you going to do? So if we take a look at it, alright. You can see some of the Z-Spear grouping in there too. But it's part of it, and there's nothing wrong with just starting with a piece of them. So let's go ahead and just do that. Let's go ahead and square this out, rectangle. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Alt, turn it inverse. Ooh, wrong way. There we go. See, we'll just focus on a piece at a time. There's nothing wrong with this. And we'll just kind of. Since I don't have symmetry on, I'm going to go ahead and start doing the unsymmetrical stuff and start just doing what it is. He's he's not your usual character. Even though he's a small character, he's a detailed character. You know, some like a tree. It's pretty much what he is in the movie. You know, a tree. But at the same time, just want to just see like start getting some detail in there. And a lot of this information I don't have. I just got these pictures and I'm just gonna kind of fill it in and go from there. And kind of start forming out some of it. Um, you know, as much as I can do with the reference we got, but it's part of it. It's fun. You create creative freedom to do what you do. You know, just have fun with it. Really, there's nothing wrong with that. So there's a lot of detail right there too. There's another piece that comes down. I'm watching, and we'll try to get as close as we can. It's not gonna be exact, but just as long as we keep going forward and getting some of the detail in, so pushing that in there, and I imagine this will connect somehow. We'll go ahead and make it like a root for Groot, baby Groot. So just go like that. So there he goes. So you can actually see some of the vining stuff, and we'll kind of blend it back in, kind of play with that. You can actually see where you get some of this detail going back. And it's fun though. This is good stuff. You know, I got some music in the background. I know you can't hear it, but you know, it's kind of just mellowed out jams. It's actually the soundtrack for the second movie. So I'm just gonna kind of cut in this. I said this is not symmetrical. We're gonna go ahead and cut it in like how I see it in the picture. Yeah. We'll fill this out back again. Kind of push this out. I probably could have done mask and that would have helped a lot, but you know, let's have fun with it. There's nothing really. What's the rush? You know, we just kind of get this going. And go like that. Kind of smooth it back out because I want to try to do the wood bark texture from some materials too at the same time, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, you know. So we get this. Who knows? This might just be a bust, not a bust, but you know, like top piece. You can already see. Yes, here you go. A hard lip right there. He's got a hard root thing right there that goes around his shoulder blade. It looks like. So a lot of it's kind of following his anatomy anyway, but a non-symmetrical anatomy. So you got your shoulder muscle. I'm going to go ahead and kind of exaggerate that, just kind of give it a little more artistic freedom. I'm following the pictures as much as I can, but sometimes you just got to do your thing, you know. Because if you look at the picture, he's kind of muscular little creature. He's got some bulk to him. Been hitting the gym, you know. That's what he's got to do. So start going right here. Put another shoulder muscles in. We won't focus too much on that right there, but at the same time, you want to get it going. So you can start seeing forming a little bit more of the little details. We'll go ahead and mask this off. Whoa, wrong button. That's not my mask button. So we'll go ahead and mask this piece right here. And it looks like it lips out. And that normally I probably would just, oops, wrong button. There we go. Normally I would just probably build this separate, but we're just going to go ahead and try to make it one big piece. So I don't want I don't want to think too much about this. I just want it to be kind of free flowing, you know. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Kept trying to dynamesh it while he's partially showing. Can't do that. Rip a hole. space-time continuum. So we get this going right there, yeah. Start cutting in a little harder edges and stuff. We'll get that with the and get a little bit of detail right here. He's got some more cuts. You'll start seeing a little more detail. We'll dynamesh after a bit. Right now, just kind of just using what we got. Let's see. So let's zoom out and see what we got. We got a little more symmetry. You start painting this back in. Give that vine. We're gonna do a lot of vine stuff on this one. Kind of viney. This viney detail that just kind of overlaps and goes back and forth. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it comes together. Because I don't know. I'm just trying to sculpt something. You know, the head was the only thing that looked symmetrical, just eyes and stuff like that. But other than that, it didn't seem too symmetrical. So let's unhide everything. Is his body showed up? Yeah. So looking at this now, let's go ahead and focus on his head. Probably the easiest thing to do is just to go ahead and pull some forms out. So let's go ahead and mask this piece right here. See it. Invert it. I'm just going to pull this up a little bit. We'll use the move tool. Why not, right? Try different things. We're going to try different techniques because it seems to be like a wood piece coming up, and we'll just blend that back in. Yeah. So you can start seeing parts of them come together. We'll grab this little piece. Let's go ahead and mask that out. Mask this out. Subtract that. So let's kill that. Saving. We always want to save, even if it's auto save. You never know when the sucker will crash on you. It's not often, but it does. It happens. So we're going to go to the move tool, and we'll just pull this up too. Yeah. Looks like a little bit of that tree trunk stuff. We'll go ahead and even this out a little bit. Oh, let's smooth this down. Smoothing that down. Smoothing that down. And we'll probably use something like a clip brush. Let's go ahead and clip that. Yeah, let's start clipping some of this. As I can see that it's gonna clip. No, wrong way. Clip this somewhat. Let's clip it down some more. We'll figure that out in a minute, but at least it's like kind of like that. Yeah, so I'm going to give some more of that definition. If you forgot what the reference looked like, let me pull it up for you. Let's pull the reference up. Shift Z. So this is, if you're going to look at it, and so let's go ahead and push this aside. Scale this down. And what I'm looking at is this part is this right here, and then this is the little tooth looking thing, and then I'm going to need to build this right there. I might just dynamesh it for now. Or not dynamesh, I mean damp standard it right there. Just kind of give it a little piece. So let's go and get rid of this. Cause I got my picture on the side, I'm good. But let's just go ahead and crease that out. You can already see that it needs to be remeshed, so let's go ahead and try to get that going. Because if I were to turn on the frame, you're going to see there's stretching here. So if I leave this on, let's go ahead and turn it on. Let's go ahead and remesh it. What I'll probably have to do is remove my history right here, because that will actually eat up memory too. And after a while, my computer will slow down because it won't be able to handle it. It's not a bad thing to clear it out, but sometimes if you want to record stuff like this, then it's good to have this, and you can play it back and record it and show a work in progress. Or sometimes you want to see how you did something and you just forgot. So this is a good way of kind of getting back to it. So we got that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this back in there. So you got your damn standard brush and see, ooh, so smooth. Yeah. There you go. That's what you want. You want to give it a little more details back in there. Now I might need to up the res later on, but right now, just for now, whatever we're doing, it's just temporary. We're just blocking this in. We're just kind of getting something going so we can kind of see the character. Most of the time, what they'll say, I'll zoom out so you can see this, is that you need to do your silhouette. So if I push this, let's see, let's go back to a solid color. There you go. You can see slowly getting his head going. But at the same time, we need to try to minimize some of this. As you can already see, his shoulders getting kind of big, so we'll pull this back in because he's not. It's hard to tell from the references. Let's do it symmetrically because it went too far off. It ain't gonna hurt it. All right, so we can kind of get that idea, and like his legs. If you look at him from a straight perspective, let's go ahead. We'll go ahead and give him some kind of a. Yeah. And you know what? Let's go ahead and make that symmetrical too, so I don't have to do it twice. I'm going to grab this, grab that. That way he's got some kind of a foot to go from. Yeah, it kind of works. You can kind of look at him. His knees are probably need to be down, so just drag this down because it was hard to find a reference that was a full body. I saw one with the suit on, but this will have to do. I don't know how husky or what he is. It's hard to tell from the references I got, but I know he's not little. I know his hands will be probably a little more tree trunkish, but what I plan to do is just start fresh with his hands and then attach them, but if that doesn't work, we'll figure it out. So, see, there you go. So you start seeing how he's building up with that silhouette. Let's see another one. Let's do the outline. You can kind of see some of the features. We're going to push his chest back in too. So, although I know he's kind of big, I know his suit's a little loose on him, so we'll push this out. And you can get a little bit more idea with the silhouette. When you see him from a distance, you can get the idea. And if I were to turn this on, or spotlight, let's see, you can kind of get an idea of who we're going for. So you can see right here, he's a little wide, and it's kind of tricky because he's got that suit on. Now when you look over here, you almost wonder if it's just that suit filling him out, because he's real skinny here. See the arms right there, and then get the more definition right in this area. So we'll play with that. I know the whole head piece is going to be a little bit more something I need to focus on at the same time, because if you look at this one, and this is what I look at whenever I'm doing this, is so much like pieced together like clay pieces. So I could probably do these as separate pieces, like one vine, and just kind of come up and then make that a separate piece onto him. Same thing with these pieces too. I might do that later on. I think the main focus tonight is just to kind of get some of the head going in. Plus, it's getting a little late, so this is just kind of a work through. I didn't really plan on making a video out of this, but then again, I was just like, you know what, why not? Same time, it's right here, clay skin. I got this off the website, and I actually dig it. It's pretty cool texture. It's kind of got like a clay feel to it at the same time. Let's start looking at this. So zoom into this. And you can see it's just some of it needs to be slowly tamed down. Like, let's see if this will work. Let's go ahead and push this back down. And pretty much just what a lot of this is, just pushing and pulling. Push and pull. Push and pull. It don't happen overnight. You just gotta kind of keep working with it. It's the fun part of it, really. Can't really complain about it. It's soothing, relaxing. Put some good music on, just kind of start modeling. Go up in here. I still got symmetry on. I'll turn that off because this is want to kind of break away from that. I'm not sure how his back looks. I need a look, but let's just go ahead and start giving some kind of. Let's go ahead and just do what we know is going to happen. Is probably some vines or something. He's a non-symmetrical character with vines or roots. So we'll just start working something in there. Getting some detail. Kind of smooth it back out with the smooth brush. Let's see what we got. Start polishing this stuff off. You can get the H polish, even though he's not really meant to be polished. It doesn't hurt to kind of just start defining certain areas. We'll go ahead and define this a little bit more, because once we start putting textures and bump maps and all that good stuff, it'll come through. But we're just gonna try to define these pieces that are of his head to kind of give it a little more something defined. Like this doesn't need to be too harsh, but we're gonna smooth it out, and then we're gonna give this. Some of it looks like it's kind of smoothed out, but there's nothing wrong with the H polish. Just kind of go in there, start defining these shapes. So I could probably even use a trim dynamic on some of this too at the same time. Let's go ahead, mask this out, and we'll invert it. Let's go ahead and paint a little bit of clay tubes on here, just to undo the mask, smooth it back out, and kind of go back in. And this is just kind of looking back and forth from the reference of what we got. That peak had a part here coming up. And maybe I'm getting too specific, but I don't know. It's part of it. It's just fun. Just get lost. Just smooth that out. Just go in here. I'm pushing the wrong button. Who cares? Invert. Clay back down. And go from there. There's nothing to it. Just gotta have fun with it, really. It's not really. It's a no-brainer on that one, you know. Let's go ahead and just try something different. Let's not do the mask. We'll just try this, and then we'll smooth it out, and then we'll grab a move brush, and we'll pull this up too. You can kind of see where it's going. Slowly but surely, and we can do a little clip brush too. We can just clip that up. Alt, boom, clipped it. So now we kind of got a little bit of a peak. We'll go back up here. And he's got like a indentation right here, so we'll go ahead and just start give it back. Maybe nobody will notice. I don't know. I never really thought about it. Like, how detailed is this? If you saw from a distance, would you know? You're like, oh my god, he didn't put that little branch in there. See, he's got a branch. So, alright, let's get that in there. Smooth it back out. Let's take a look at him. There you go. This we're going to smooth back out because I'm thinking we could smooth something out there. We're going to come back to that. Something about that kind of got a little too much. Too much. We'll get some TLC on that. Tender love and care. But let's focus on his head right now, because that's where I'm digging it. Look at some of these little curves. Start painting that back in. You know that happens. We're gonna paint it up. You're probably looking at me like, didn't you just draw that? I'm like, yeah. And I smoothed it out. Who cares? As long as you have fun, right? That's all that matters. Just have fun with this. Just want to smooth that back out. Smooth the jaw. That. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out. Let's see how you got them. So if we look at that, kind of got a little bit. This PPR. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see if ambient occlusion's turned on. It's always a good. Oh man, I didn't push it. Alright, let's turn this on so we can see a little bit more detail. Let's go ahead and do this again and see what it looks like. And I'll probably call it a night. It's getting late. And so far, I need to push out the top of his head a little bit more, but no, I'll do that tomorrow. I'm pretty digging just the way it's going now. Just kind of having fun with it. Just a little fun character. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna probably save this. See this right here, if you uncheck that, it'll make your file size a lot smaller. I'm gonna go ahead and do that because eventually I'm just gonna run out of space and I'm like, I can't do this no more.